Take care to y'all. Please subscribe on Facebook, on thirdsideconvo.com, and we'll see you again for another chapter of Third Side Convo. Thank you so much.
Coming back from break to deal with the Zoom people. I'm sure they have a lot to say. You might want to be in this.
I'm going to be on Discord.
Okay.
No, but Cash is on. Okay.
Cash is on. It's okay. He knows. All right. Wow.
Zoom call. Can you hear us?
Yes. Yes.
Zoom call. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Zoom call. Can you hear us?
I can't hear the Zoom call.
Okay, I got to get ready.
We're having major.
Today is the boogity boo. Technology.
Oh, man.
Are you killing me? I can't hear the Zoom call?
I can't hear the Zoom call.
They
Hey,
can't
Jeff.
hear me.
Zoom call. Can you hear us again? Someone say something.
Yes. We can.
Good.
I
heard
said
something.
that was good. It was funny.
Oh,
You wouldn't believe how
can
many
you hear
people
me?
I talked to last week are saying the same stuff. So it's
No.
it needs to be heard. It all
The
needs
Zoom
to
call
be
hear me.
heard.
Almost everyone's muted, so I'm having a hard time. I can't tell if I'm hearing them or not.
Can you hear me?
We're trying to get the Zoom on real quickly, and we know some of y'all may have to leave in the after show. Are you rehearsing tonight, Jeff?
Yeah, but I pushed it back a little bit. I don't
Okay.
like if I was having to run, I would have already had to run.
Thank you, sir.
I can stick a few minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Can the Zoom hear us now?
I can hear you.
Wow. We're gonna have to rewire the whole thing.
Hey, Jeff, while they're trying to figure out the technical parts, I just want to ask you, why don't you do a good riff for Bob's intro music?
I know, right? I'll be happy. But I mean, I actually kind of dig the intro music. It's like so classic, like news.
You know, what do you get?
I'll play the Ukrainian national anthem in the style of Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, that could be fun.
So wait, what town in Poland are you in, Bill?
It's we're near my wife's village called Grochowice. It's over in the western part of Poland, but it's about 100 miles due east of Dresden, Germany. So just across the border.
Right on.
I mean, what are the Polish people thinking about it? I mean, they're
Josh, can you hear me?
Well, it's a mix. It's a mix.
Yeah.
One, they opened up their homes, welcomed a lot of the refugees. They took in about 8 million Ukrainians, all across Poland. In fact, like my mother-in-law, she's got an apartment in town. She had 2 Ukrainian families living in her apartment for a while. Just let them live.
Yes.
The flip side is there's some pretty ugly history
you hear
going
me?
back to
Yes, I can.
World War
Yes.
and previously,
Okay,
but
so we can talk now.
All right.
but there was like my wife's family was ethnically cleansed. They're originally from the Kiev area, and they were ethnically cleansed and forced to move westward to what's now Western Poland. And part of that was included the Bohin massacre, which was a pogrom, a very, very brutal massacre by Ukrainians.
Yeah.
By
okay,
Ukrainians
Bill.
against
Bill, we're
Poles.
gonna let the Zoom in. We're gonna let the Zoom in,
All right.
Bill. We finally got him.
Okay,
Yay.
Cash, tell me what you think.
Okay, so I think that Ukraine was being invaded by Russia because they okay,
we
Russia
can't hear
wanted
him.
like can you
You
not?
can't hear him?
I can hear him.
I can hear them, but they can't.
Oh shit.
He's not coming there. We can hear him from his speaker through your microphone, Joe Boy.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to find another way to get him in there.
Yeah, I was thinking most of us on the panel, Bill, except maybe me, actually is of the age that Russia or Ukraine would be calling them up for active service, correct?
Yeah.
Because I always tease Jeff about being older than he is, but I think Jeff could serve. I think he would be a wonderful soldier.
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah.
Well, we need to still hear his comments through the other. I'm going to try to add.
We're trying to figure out how to hear the Zoom. We can't not hearing the Zoom well.
The Zoom may not.
Buddy.
I mean, we can hear them, but they're not hearing them well.
God, can you imagine though a bunch of guys our age heading out to? Hey,
it happens.
Okay, so Cash, tell me what your thoughts are.
Okay.
So Ukrainian, the Ukraine is trying to just take back like what lands they already had from like since before 2014, and Russia is invading them because they want like land as like a land so hold on, I'm trying to think of the word. I had it earlier, but it's like a blockade. It's a blockade from like Western Europe into Eastern Europe, and that also helps with Belarus because Belarus is a good ally of Russia, and they're just trying to like maybe like get a they're trying to get like a blockade from Western Europe, and then Ukraine on the other hand is just trying to survive and like maybe take back their lands that they already had. That's what they're trying to do, while Russia just wants to prepare for like a Western European invasion if one happens. And
okay, so you're saying that Ukraine is like the blockade in between. So Russia doesn't want Europeans to have control of it because they don't want to be invaded, and the Europeans want to have control of it so they don't get invasion from Russia. So that seems like a fair point. Ted, are you able to talk? Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? That's the
Yes,
we can.
Jeff, can you hear Ted?
No.
Oh,
go ahead.
I can't hear a Zoom call at all.
We'll pass it on. Go, Ted.
What do I think? I missed most of it because the tech problems were so bad. I do say this, that most of Eastern Europe countries from Slovakia, Moldova, they fear about being invaded by Russia. Nobody trusts Putin. He's broken everything from going back to 1920. I don't know, going back to 1620. He broke every treaty. He doesn't respect a treaty. And, you know, they had a settlement in 2014. They were supposed to leave. They invaded the Donbass. They're supposed to leave. They never did. So, you know, the thing about this issue is he keeps pushing, and now we have a president who accommodates him. In fact, accommodates him in a variety of ways that are unexplainable. And I wonder what Putin has on our president, the first felon, to the point where he does everything
so
he
the
can.
question is, what does Putin have on the current president that the president is kowtowing to him and just letting him have his way?
That's right.
It's a valid opinion. I see Steve Johnson still left on. Steve Johnson, did you have an opinion that you wanted to give? Giving him 5 seconds. And no, Steve Johnson has not come back in. I think the history of this has been around for a while. And it's true. Russian has backpedaled a lot of times and gone back with what they've thought. But if you look at the history of what's gone on back with Gorbachev, when he turned around and went against his own people in order to make deals, they just don't want missiles that close to Moscow for some reason. And so since Ukraine has been the stepping point for people to get into Russia in the past, they won't want people to come in. So I think the big answer is say no to NATO going into that area, and that may solve the problem. The going over mineral rights, I think that's a political move that might be intelligent, in that the fact that what they're doing is controlling the fact that he won't go after American citizens that are there voluntarily. The American citizens that are working there, they're going to be there voluntarily. And so why go in and risk hurting an American and starting a war?
a Russian
Whereas
missile,
without American
hitting
citizens there's
Ukraine
no
is-
reason they can keep coming in. And so that's the only thing I can think of that could stop it from escalating to a World War III. And so I think it might be a good move. I mean, I don't
Joe
know
boy.
what other options are there
Joe
besides
boy.
spilling out a lot of
Joe
money
boy.
hoping.
Joe boy, you
Yes,
are
sir.
you're deluded. He invaded Russia. Putin invaded Ukraine to save it from the Nazis. Don't you remember that? He sees American
Yeah.
contractors, American corporations mining titanium. He thinks it'll have to be rescued or they're stealing their titanium. He's going to go in and invade it again. That's what he does. He doesn't respect any agreements. And one of the agreements I heard from NBC News last week is if they do go for mineral rights, Russia would control it. Russia would oversee it. So give me a break about being a good idea to have American people in there at all. He would just
Ted, okay. Well, Ted, let me kind of
Yeah.
restate. Jeff and Don didn't hear any of that, but and I'm a bad person to do it. But Ted basically says Putin's never lived up to anything ever, and he's invaded. He's going to invade anyway. So now, Ted, is it that we need to establish this as like a hill we die on, that he backs out of those areas of Ukraine that need to be negotiated out, or what?
Well, the thing is, Putin won't stop. He wants to recreate the Russia of the 1950s, the glory years of Russia dominance in through Central and Eastern Europe. And so,
and if he'd have been successful in Ukraine, would he have gone on to the next country? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you believe?
Ask Moldovans fear that. The Poles fear it.
Okay.
The Slovakians and Slovenians fear it. You don't see them going back to Russia, do you? They're free. They're in the European Union. There's a reason why they're in the European Union. They want protection. They don't want to be in Russia.
Okay, so you're saying this is a hill to possibly die on.
We're not dying on it. We are sending
Wow.
arms for other people to die on it.
Yeah, he's saying that we're not dying on it, Jeff and Don, that we're sending money. Other people are dying on it. Other people are dying. But do we continue this? And I know y'all believe that we should, because it is that important, is what y'all are saying.
Yeah, like I was saying, it is we have to stop getting the facts and stop believing everything that we hear from certain people, and go with the facts. That the facts are. I mentioned the money thing. That the facts of the money. There was this big thing, $300 billion was spent, and it wasn't true.
Wow.
This is the facts. Is telling people the truth, because we have to learn how to get the facts and stuff. Because with this administration, or with the person who part of the administration, or
Well, we may have an interesting conversation. This may be one show that we actually could get some comments on the website. And if people are throwing stuff into the chat, we're going to go on and throw them into. Joe Boy and I are going to have to get those. We're going to get Tiberius to help us get those into the comments on the show. So we'll talk to y'all about that and stuff. But any last words for the Ted? Is there anything you want to say? And I apologize that we had such issues.
No, it's okay. I mean, it's a very complex issue. The true world complex issue. I understand why everybody says, well, how much treasure do you want to spend? How far do we go? How long does it last?
Okay.
And the point is that he has a history of not being trusted. The war ends, by the way. If they go back behind their original borders, the war ends. It's over. It's not like Ukraine's going to go and invade Russia. It's over.
Right.
Russia goes back to where the original borders. So that's as simple.
Ash, did you learn anything today?
Yeah, I've learned most of it besides the materials. Also, I wanted to add one more point. Our president wants to end the war, which I don't think should be his decision, because Ukraine, it's between Ukraine and Russia. We can support either side that we want to win, but we shouldn't be deciding this war with them. We shouldn't be in the peace talks. It should only be between Ukraine and Russia, and that's it.
Okay, interesting.
Well, I've hoped you learned some new stuff, Cash, and I hope you come back. and see more of the stuff that we're doing, because we want to get youth and see what they think about these political issues that affect your life over
Yeah,
time.
Jeff and Don, y'all didn't realize, and Bill, that we had one of Tiberius's friends on here. And so y'all didn't get to hear his nice comments and things, and basically saying that they need to decide this. America needs to stay out of it, at least from a standpoint of they need to get this thing negotiated, this peace negotiated. It sometimes does take other countries to help, doesn't it? But thank you so much for the after show and for being here and putting up with the technology challenges just to see that we do agree. Ted said this is a global problem, and it's a complex one, not going to be handled easily.
No.
Thank you for everybody seeing you on Third Side Convo, and we'll be back next week for another show. Take care, y'all.
Bye.
Thanks, Ted.